Welcome back to 10 Oddball Facts. Today we're exploring Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, and a man some people compare to the Apostle Paul from the Bible. Whether you love him or disagree with him, Kirk's story is filled with twists, bold claims, and some truly oddball moments. Let's dive into 10 oddball facts about Charlie Kirk, a modern-day Paul. A teenage founder. At just 18 years old, Charlie Kirk co-founded Turning Point USA. While most teens were figuring out prom dates and homework, Kirk was already shaping a movement. That early leap mirrors Paul's own early calling to ministry. A transformation story. Like Paul, who went from persecutor to preacher, Kirk's early years were more skeptical and politically focused. But over time, he transformed into a faith-driven culture warrior, fully embracing religion in his message. The Seven Mountains Vision. Kirk promoted the idea that Christians should influence 7 key areas of society: government, education, media, business, arts, family, and religion. This oddball fact shows he wasn't just about politics. He had a vision of cultural dominion. For controversy follows, Paul stirred riots in cities like Ephesus. Kirk stirred headlines. Studies ranked his podcast among the most listened to in politics, but also one of the most criticized for false or misleading claims. Odd but powerful. His final debate in his last public appearance, Kirk was debating about gun violence. His final words were a remark about counting gang violence, and moments later, tragedy struck. Like Paul, he left behind an eerie last sermon moment. Prophetic words. Kirk once said, "If you eliminate me, others will rise with louder voices." Those words feel prophetic now. Paul said something similar in Philippians, reminding the church that even if he were imprisoned, the gospel would not be stopped. 7. Influence without office. Here's another oddball fact. Kirk never ran for or held government office. Yet his influence on young conservatives was massive. That's a lot like Paul, who never held political power, but shaped the Roman world with his letters and travels. 8. The mission field of campuses. Kirk saw college campuses as battlegrounds, or mission fields. He traveled constantly to speak at schools, calling on students to reclaim America's youth. Paul did the same in ancient cities like Corinth and Athens. 9. Blending faith and politics. Kirk unapologetically blended theology with his political battles, speaking on abortion, gender, and identity through a religious lens. Paul's letters also mixed faith and real-world social issues. It's an oddball overlap across 2,000 years. 10. A martyr's legacy. Almost immediately after his death, some in his movement began framing him as a martyr. Comparisons to biblical figures like Paul came quickly, not because they lived the same life, but because both stirred waves that continued after they were gone. So there you have it. 10 oddball facts about Charlie Kirk, a man some people call a modern-day Paul. Whether you see him as a hero, a troublemaker, or something in between, his story has already left a mark on history. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for more 10 oddball facts.
We are the change that this generation demands.
In memory of Charlie Kirk, and a passionate voice, a tireless defender of truth, and a man of deep faith and conviction, he stood boldly for freedom, challenged the status quo, and inspired countless young people to engage fearlessly. Though he's gone, his mission continues, carried forward by those he touched, by those who share his vision, and by God's grace. Rest in power, Charlie. Your legacy lives on.